Welcome to this, your daily 180 Bible study. This week we're looking at the importance of today. All we have is today. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not here. What are you going to do with today? Today is the key to tomorrow. And we've made an acrostic out of this word. T stands for training. How are you training your heart, and how are you training your heart? And today we're going to look at the letter O. And O is for the outlook of your heart. How do you see life? You know, a life with God not at the core is a life of despair, and it is a life of gloom. But when God's at the core, you know, all kinds of external things can be happening to us, but it's okay. Well, what do you base that on, Bill? Well, in the book of Philippians, Paul's writing from a jail cell, and he would say to the brethren at Philippi, beginning at verse number 12, folks, I want you to know the things that have happened to me have actually turned out for the furtherance of the gospel. Isn't that amazing? Writing from a jail cell, and he says, this is really for the best. I'm glad it's happened this way. Over in chapter 4, verse 4, he would say, rejoice in the Lord always. Well, that's easy for you to say, Paul. He said, well, why? Well, you don't have the problems I have. He's writing from a jail cell. As a matter of fact, when you go over to Acts chapter 16, there's another occasion there when Paul and Silas, they're beaten with rods and they're cast into the inner prison. And what was the crime that they had committed? They had done a good deed toward a demon-possessed girl that was being used and manipulated by evil men. And they're thrown in prison after they have been beaten with rods. And so what did they do? Typically, we would expect prisoners to cry and moan and maybe cuss. But instead, we read in Acts chapter 16, verse number 25, around midnight, they were singing and praying. And the verse goes on to say, and the prisoners heard them. Or some translations say the prisoners were listening. Isn't that interesting? You see, when our outlook is just an outlook that's minus God, is doom and gloom and despair. But when God is at the core, it's okay. I don't want to be beaten by rods, but it's okay. As long as God is glorified, Christ is exalted, and I can be assured of a home with them in heaven. Join us again tomorrow for your Daily 180.